to start the story back in August 2009 in Edinburgh in Scotland when I just finished my undergraduate degree in engineering. If you can picture a young, fresh-faced, enthusiastic engineering student, I'm afraid you're wrong by about 4 years. I just completed my degree, I graduated that May, and although by that measure you could say I was successful, and I'm sure my parents were very proud, I couldn't honestly say that I was very happy at that point in time. As I said, although I'd started as a very enthusiastic student, by the end of that summer I'd lost a lot of the interest that I once had. And at first I'd been engaged and excited by the topics that we had at hand, I'd become quite listless and bored and really wondering what I was going to do with my time. What was worse, that was as I'd left university and talked to some of my colleagues that were ahead of me in the process, and who had, what I heard from them was also disheartening. Stories of work that meant they spent hours at a time behind a computer screen, they never saw the products of what they were working on. I had a sickening and almost insidious feeling that I'd wasted, spent a lot of my time, spent a lot of my energy, and not incidentally spent quite a lot of money preparing for a career that I wasn't sure I wanted anymore. So at the end of that summer, 6 years ago, I made a set of decisions that I think took me out of that spiral. Within a fortnight, I'd enrolled on a course hundreds of miles away at the University of Surrey. I'd packed a rucksack and flown down to Gatwick Airport with nothing more than a week-long reservation and travel lodging. Over the next year, I completed a master's degree in biomedical engineering and science, and I rediscovered what it was about that subject that had enthralled me at the beginning. I was able to learn about problems that had yet to be solved. Instead of trying to read equations that had been set out hundreds of years earlier, there were now puzzles that were still out there, and ideas and methods that I could see for the very first time. So I completed this master's degree. I was able to apply the technical skills I had to real-world issues that were out there. I was able to work on problems that could improve the lives of thousands of people in the UK and millions across the world. I was able to work harder and more effectively than I'd ever been able to before, and on the back of my success there, I was able to get a job working in a hospital, working with patients, and being able to see the fruits of my labour and having a clear impact on the well-being of the people I was working with. Perhaps most importantly at this time, I found a mentor. This is something that I hope to do through Toastmasters as well. My study supervisor at the time, Dr. Ewens, now Professor Ewens of the University of Surrey, although perhaps not the easiest person to get along with, was somebody that improved my work by always expecting the very best from what was possible. He was somebody that really understood the obligation that we had in our research and to the people that we were researching on. We had to ask the right questions and do the right work to be able to solve these problems properly. It was the first chance I had to work with a real expert in their field, and it was inspirational to see somebody that could be able to tease out the novelty of the data that we had and be able to write about that in a way that was convincing and engaging. So I love now that in my work as a scientist I can make discoveries that, as I said, can reduce pain or improve function, and I can share my excitement and my enthusiasm about what I'm doing with people both in the university and around the world. Now at Bournemouth University I'm working on a system and a technique that's unique in the world. My project looks at measuring pressures inside artificial limbs, which is thought to be the main limiting factor for the tens of thousands of amputees that live in the UK, and again, millions across the world. And the idea that I can, in some small way, improve how we understand or carry out treatment or rehabilitation is perhaps the best motivation I can think of. I don't want to lie about it or sugarcoat it. Science is often a very frustrating endeavour, but every morning I wake up with new ideas and new ways of trying to solve things. I don't dread that Monday morning trip to work because I can arrive and do something for the very first time or learn something for the very first time. If you love what you do, you never have to work a day in your life.
Let's clap some more for Philip. I think he did very well. Thank you. That was very insightful and very, very impactful. Thank you for that. So what we're going to do next, if you have this piece of paper with you, the first speaker, next 1 minute, please write what you think he did well and what you think he could improve. Next speaker. Done that.